that's nothing compared to what's around the corner. Ignored by thousands of travelers each day, yet displayed in plain sight.
What the hell is this? Why would someone put this in an airport? What are they trying to tell us?
That's the mother of all solar flares.
All the kids are crying and they're holding on and they're looking. I mean, this is literally almost a portrayal of the end of the earth.
It is, and the world will be destroyed by fire, and there it is. And look at who's going extinct here. It's not just animals.
It's people.
So there's a strange motif of Mayan symbolism mixed in with this end of the world motif, which actually explains the purpose of Denver International Airport. Right here, this explains it. This is a place for the elites to escape from what this is.
This looks like a mural of the destruction of the world.
These people are living in a basement. And all these people are refugees. And the Lord of Death with the eagle and the AK-47 is killing the dove of peace. This is a person from the future.
The future? The man with the machine gun. He's already here. Already guarding the 2012 bunkers.
But who is in charge of all the weird nuances at this airport? The general consensus is that it is the New World Order. But who are the New World Order? Well, they are an elite group of individuals that include many of the world's wealthiest people.
It's not who, but rather what the New World Order is. This is the most popular misconception of all. To answer the question of who is behind all of the controversy at Denver Airport, it is quite obvious that the globalist elites, the overall structural organization of the Illuminati and its Masonic involvements that are responsible for this, and therefore the New World Order is actually the prophecy or the plan of action this group is taking, including several major events that have already came to pass, things that are currently happening, and events that are to present themselves in the near future and distant future. This common mistake is proof that the disinformation of public awareness has worked, as you have just witnessed that many people still think the New World Order is a group of people. It is to my belief, though, from studying these subjects, that the actual order, just as many Freemason cults are called, is the people or order of individuals that are to be in power after the events occur in which they are trying to symbolically reveal to us. The New World Order is not one event, but rather several events, all working in unison for the same goal and purpose. To explain what I'm trying to tell you, and evidence of this can be found back on September 11th, 1991, exactly 10 years before the events of 9/11 occurred, later in 2001. This was perhaps the first time it was publicly announced and the phrase New World Order was used. George Bush Sr. announced that there was a master idea or plan, the New World Order, and then exactly 10 years later, the World Trade Center buildings were destroyed. Knowing this, I'm going to predict right now that another third event is going to occur this year on September 11th, 2011, as it is marking another decade since its announcement in 1991.
We have confidence because freedom is the permanent hope of mankind, the hunger in dark places, the longing of the soul. When our founders declared a new order of the ages,
what is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
This just in, you are looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
The plane was coming in. I noticed it a second before it hit the building. It looked like it was moving slowly, and it lined itself up to hit the building directly.
The doorman goes to me, wow, I never seen a plane flying so low. And we looked out at it, all of a sudden, boom, it seemed like it wasn't even real.
I'd say the whole takes about 6 or 7 floors were taken out. And there's more explosions right now. Hold on, people are running.
Hold on just a moment. We got an explosion inside.
The building's exploding right now. You got people running up the street.
Okay.
Many people to this day believe that the elitists were in charge and responsible in full for the 9/11 attacks. Could this be true? Could this really have been a part of a master plan or the New World Order? With over 80% of the population believing that 9/11 was an inside job, and having Freemasons refuse this fact diligently to this day, all of the evidence points in the direction of Illuminati involvement. Many believe the buildings collapsed under the operation of a controlled demolition, and here's the proof.
This time, we will record when the sound meters peaked to determine the timing of the strongest sound pressure waves. The original digital sound recording contains very significant peak events of short duration, typical of drum beats and high-speed, high-power explosives. The first massive sound peak at -17 seconds is followed by clouds of smoke and dust rising from the base of the tower. An internal and cascade series of sharp peaks are also evident before and during the tower's fall.
I did pass through a couple of parks and on some of the streets, and before, when I reported about an hour ago, there were people with their gas pumps who turned to look at the smoke that was coming from the city.
Sorts of explanations for it, but I'm going to give you the Masonic Illuminati inner meaning of what this means tonight. And it's going to probably gross you out and astonish you, and I apologize in advance for that. But this is what it means. Crowley reveals the secret behind the all-seeing eye symbol in one of his books, the Book of Thoth, which is a very advanced manual on tarot card readings. And this is the eye of Lucifer.
And by the time the council came to a close,
they had three major policies that were going to be followed. First, they were to see to it that humans would be made to believe that Satan and his angels do not really exist. And he told us, he says, look, we worship spirits. We worship Lucifer and all his angels. They're just as beautiful as they did before they were cast out of heaven. He says there was a misunderstanding in the whole thing. He says among the inhabitants of the galaxies. And he says our master was misunderstood. And through these people, they are sold to the fact that Christ will not return to this planet with power and great glory. He's going to abdicate all claims to the planet, because the high priest once said that Christ will abdicate all claims to the planet because he knows that it is lawfully and rightfully Satan's. Like the priest mentioned, there's thousands of spirit worshippers in all these different societies of spirit worshippers in this world. But he says we are the elite. We know the real truth about the Master and his angels. The Master's grain plane for harvesting the nations, for harvesting the multitudes of the earth into his cause, just before the close of the great controversy between the forces of good and evil. So we continued, after we express ourselves that we're deeply interested to know more about the activities of spirits. And he said it's going to be done in a unique manner. This grand plan is going to take people are going to eat the stuff. Because he says spirits, demon spirits, will declare themselves to be inhabitants of far distant planets in the galaxies that are coming to warn the inhabitants of planet Earth of the impending destruction of the planet, unless something seriously proper is done to avoid it.
Masonic mind control, that the alchemical managers have bred over millennia, over 1,000 years. They said they bred a human race that is most wretched, stupid, and ignorant. It's so unrivaled in thousands of years. He said these blind slaves say they are free and highly educated, even as they march behind, notice this word, signs. Have you ever taken time to analyze a sign or a billboard or a logo? He says a medieval peasant would have run away in panic-stricken terror from the signs that modern man embraces.
You know the vowels.
Just answer the question.
Well, I mean, I just had to learn how to pronounce it. I mean, it hasn't been a living spoken language in more than 1,000 years.
I mean, look at this. It says, a traveler from distant stars escaped from a dying world looking for a way to extend his own life. His body decaying and weak, he couldn't prevent his own demise. Apparently his whole species was becoming extinct. So he traveled or searched the galaxies looking for a way to cheat death. And look here, he came to a world rich with life,
where he encountered a primitive race, humans. A species which, with all his powers and knowledge, he could maintain indefinitely. He realized within a human body he had a chance for a new life. Now, he apparently found a young boy. It says, as the frightened villagers ran, night became day. Curious and without fear, he walked towards the light. Ra took him and possessed his body like some kind of a parasite looking for a host. And inhabiting this human form, he appointed himself ruler. He used the Stargate to bring thousands of people here to this planet as workers for the mines, just like the one we saw. This mineral is clearly the building block of all his technology. With this, he can sustain eternal life. Now, something happened, where is it, back on Earth, a rebellion or uprising, and the Stargate was buried there. Fearful of a rebellion here, Ra outlawed reading and writing. He didn't want the people to remember the truth.